Hey, they might could do it better. I ain't tripping off all that shit. What's going on? What's going on, man? It's your boy RichinFaithTV, man. We back in the building, man. We back working. I got my girl Katie in the building, man. Pop your shit.
Hey, y'all. This is Angelle from New Orleans, singer, songwriter, rapper, and it's a pleasure to be here with my boy.
Bet. So look, we did something new today. She performed 2 songs for us, so we're gonna show that. We're gonna get to that later down the line. So what brought you to Atlanta today?
Well, I have a lot of things going on right now. A lot of opportunities coming to me. This is one of them. So I'm actually house hunting, to be honest. So I'm moving here. So this is like a big opportunity to be here. I'm so grateful.
Cool. So tell us about Lafayette and what type of love do you get in your city as far as your music goes?
Yeah, so when I first started my music, as far as becoming a recording artist, everything was out of Lafayette. Like, all of my fans, I went to UL. I knew everybody in the college scene. We hosted all these parties, and then I just started performing at them because people were like, man, you are talented. And we were able to book out clubs and have these owners of these clubs say, come out, come perform. Y'all bring the crowds in. You know, y'all can get half the door, half the drinks, you know. And, you know, being young and you're like 18, 19, you're like, hell yeah, I'm gonna take the opportunity. I'll be there every weekend. So Lafayette shows me so much love, and I mean, they really are my ground. Like, I thank them so much for putting me on. They really did.
Cool. Well, shout out Lafayette.
Shout out Lafayette.
Bet. So let's get straight into it. Let's talk about the song Truth. Is there any truth to that song? Because it was I felt the song. I felt the pain. Trust. Oh, I'm sorry. Trust. You know what I mean? My bad. But yeah, like, was it any type of truth in that song, though?
I feel like, yes, a part of those lyrics were definitely from personal experiences, but they were also personal experiences of a lot of women that I do know and what they've been through. So as a songwriter, I'm able to pull in a lot of different energies, and that's how I start writing, and that's how I start recording. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely some truths in that.
Cool. So how could your music empower women?
I feel like every woman has a story to tell, and you always have those moments that you go through, and sometimes a man can't necessarily express it the way that you want to hear it. And my whole thing is, I want to be personal with my lyrics. I want it to be real, and I want it to be raw. I write all my songs because I know, like, my supporters, if they hear a song that I didn't write, I feel like they're going to know. You know what I mean? Because I take everything from personal experiences, what I've been through. So that loyalty, that realness, that's only something that I feel I can deliver in my songs. So I feel like I can help women really just body stuff, depending on whatever mood.
Yeah, I feel that. So we finna check out her old video. This video was in 2014, but it was her first video. It's called Stoner.
Roll it up, I said let me hit it. Cause I'm a fucking stoner. 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 Yeah, it's Katie in this bitch, but a lot more rich. Never slip and check this chick. Check my stats, I'm killing shit. Can't touch my flow, but you feeling it. Making chicks wanna slit their wrist. Rolling doobies like I'm Liz. You are not real, like you don't exist. Yes, I know you're pissed if you looking at the ring. Yes, I got them all screaming, hey, Katie, don't you sing? Man, I do everything. I get money like it ain't a thing. Get on your knees, bow down to the queen. Just got your man to give me his green. He's begging me to be on my team, but I'm just like, what the fuck you mean? You think he's so special? I think he's so lame.
So the reasons of us showing that video, because I want to just talk about her growth as an artist. So let's talk about that.
Okay, so the Stoner video was like so random. I was actually hanging out with some friends when I wrote the song, and I was just singing in my head. I was like, I'm a fucking stoner. And then the dude that I was with, he was like, what'd you just say? And I was like, I'm a fucking stoner. And I was like, oh, that shit goes hard. He was like, you gotta rap. And keep in mind, at the time, I was solely singing. Like, I was solely an artist that was singing. And I never thought I would be rapping, you know? Then I wrote the lyrics that same night. We recorded it. And everybody in the studio was singing, I'm a fucking stoner by the end of the night. And then we knew this dance crew. Shout out Johnny Bravo and Lafayette. He brought his whole dance crew, put him in the video. Edward X, he shot the video. He was fire. Beat Freak and JP, who's actually from from Atlanta, they did the beat, and like it just came together so nicely and so cleanly, and it resonated with so many people. We had fun with that video, but I feel like from then and now, I mean, obviously my main goal is not to sing about smoking, but it was definitely a vibe.
So how old were you when you made that song?
I was like 21, maybe 21, yeah, because that was 4 years ago. So I'm 25 now. So yeah, that was definitely like, that was a time.
Cool. What does music mean to you?
Oh gosh, that's a tough one. So music to me, I mean, it's my outlet. It's my passion. It's the way that I can express myself in different forms. It's a way for me to transmute different types of energies. You know, if I'm going through a hard time, some ways to release it is really like the best way for me to release it is to write it and then sing it out. And it comes out of me so naturally, and there's like a relief there. So music has always been that for me. Even when I was a little girl, you know, singing in churches and being in different choirs, like I was in everything. So I was able to just sing from my heart and let it out, you know, and it was like weight lifted. I feel like some people don't have that, you know.
Growing up in Lafayette, who were some influential rappers or singers that was out there?
Ooh.
Locally wise.
Locally, so Lafayette music scene is completely different than any other music scene. Out there, they like to do a lot of Zydeco and a lot of different types of, not necessarily country music, but people would really relate it to that more. Line dancing music, different types of things like that. That wasn't the type of music I was going for necessarily, but I would say like I was influenced by a lot of 90s artists, Billie Holiday, Toni Braxton, Ashanti, you know, Jennifer Lopez, just the way that they had looks, sounds, they had an image, they had a personality. Their videos were very cultural. So it wasn't necessarily just being in my home base of Lafayette, even though they have a lot of music love there, that energy is always going and fast paced. It was more so of the music that was always around me. You know, like I said, both of my parents, they were both into music, working at music stores. They both would bring home the same CD just for each of their cars, you know, and we would play it in our houses all the time. So that was really like my grab to music.
Cool. And when you was talking, I just thought about it. You are the second artist from Lafayette we have had.
Really? Who's the first one?
Bloodshot. His name's Bloodshot. Light skinned cat.
But does he have dreads?
No, he don't have dreads. His name Bloodshot. Shout out to Bloodshot.
Shout out Bloodshot. Hey, gang.
So, what's the difference between Louisiana and Lafayette? And is it a difference with the people?
Well, I mean, I actually just moved to New Orleans. So I grew up in New Orleans from the time that I was 10 to 18. And then I moved back to Lafayette for college. And then, like I said, I was born in Lafayette. So, yes, it seems like sometimes when you go to a different city, the atmosphere changes. You know, New Orleans is definitely more city-like. Lafayette is very city, but it still has that country feel, that country twang to it. So it just depends on like the area you go to. And food. I mean, food is like the biggest thing in Lafayette. And then in New Orleans, like, yes, the food is good, but if you like Cajun food, like, you're gonna go to Lafayette, you know? So that's a big thing in Louisiana.
Yeah, I know Cajun is really big in Louisiana.
It's huge.
Really big.
Like, I'm gonna miss that food moving here.
Yeah, but we got good wings and good other stuff.
You gotta show me some spots, because I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do?
We got a lot of spots.
We cooking every night.
Yeah, I feel that. So, is it hard for a lot of artists, a lot of up-and-coming artists, to get their music outside of Lafayette?
I feel like it is, because a lot of people out there, it is a crabs in the bucket feel. So, you know, some people will support you heavily, and then some people will only support the people that they feel like have made it. But it's like when you get to a certain extent of fame in a small area, there's only so much further you can go unless you kind of move out of that area. So it's like it's a 50-50, you know, yes and no. It's hard a little bit to try to expand more when you're not giving your music to the same crowd, but it's doable. Like Big Boom, you know, I've worked with him. He's been on BET. He's been on 106 in Park. You know, he's had some hit songs. I work with Cupid. Shout out Cupid. He's booked me for a couple shows before. Cupid Shuffle blew up.
Cupid Shuffle?
Yeah, and he's actually, he's from Lafayette, born and raised. Shout out Cupid. And he put me on a couple shows, and that was dope. I mean, he didn't have to do that, you know, but he heard my vocals, and him and his brother linked up with me. Shout out Sean, and they put me on, you know. It was like people out there, when they see you, they do try to grab you and try to, you know, rotate people to you, which is nice. Shout out Wochi, who, you know, fucks with me. That's dope. He don't have to do that, and artists out there don't have to do that, but they do just out of strictly support, just to see other people get on, you know. And they are considered kind of like the OGs in the area, you know. Everybody respects them and looks up to them in that area.
And Cupid is from
Lafayette.
Wow. So he came up with the Cupid Shuffle in Lafayette.
He came up with Cupid Shuffle in Lafayette. That's why I was kind of telling you about the line dance. Like, Cupid Shuffle is a line dance.
Really?
And they have a lot of line dance songs and things like that in Lafayette.
Really? So what type of work did you and Cupid do?
He actually just booked me he did a showcase where he had me and another singer come out, and we got to perform 6 songs each. And he already had the crowd booked, and it was a very nice venue. And, I mean, he hooked everything up for me. He didn't have to do that, but it was nice, and I got a ton of exposure for it. It was dope.
So, working with someone like that that's been on BET and is kind of a legend in the music industry, was just starting a wave of making a dance song, what type of jewels does he drop on? What type of things does he teach you?
I feel like, from what I've seen, because I'm more of a seer, like, I understand what people say they can do, but what I see him do, he does a lot for his community, and he always makes sure, like, that's the forefront of who he is and who he's represented as. Like, when you go to events in Lafayette, you'll see Cupid sponsoring this or Cupid sponsoring that for kids and things like that, and to give for, you know, school giveaways and certain things like that, which is nice. So I feel like to stay supporting your community and keep pushing your community forward is big, because you can just leave and you don't have to look back, but it's super important to look back and support your team, because they are the ones who really gave you that level. They leveled you up, you know? So for that, definitely. Big Boom, I would say, you know, just kind of stay chill, stay cool, stay laid back. He's super laid back. Stay open to the new people that do come on. You know, if you see somebody working their asses off, recording, really wanting it, grinding out for them, tell them what it's really like. Don't sugarcoat shit for nobody, and then support them. You know, that's the big deal. Don't sugarcoat a thing, I feel like.
That's deep. So why do you think women feel like they have to exploit their body or take half-naked pictures just to get their music across, or just to get some type of attention?
Yes. I feel like sometimes women confuse attention for their talent for attention for their body. And yes, it is heavily based on men's opinion, but I feel like women that do that really feel like they need to be validated by a man. And it took a lot of confidence in me for me to, you know, work with people and say, you're not going to just notice me for my beauty. Yes, I am beautiful, and yes, I do have a great body, but I got them to notice my talent. I got them to notice my talent. And then that's when they were kind of like, I mean, I would walk in looking bomb, and they're like, can you get in the studio? I'm like, oh, okay. Like, fuck me today. Like, you know, but really on some shit, like, people really, you have to show them that you're more than just a face, you're more than just a body. And I do feel like it's a distraction. Why are you posting your ass and your titties if that's not selling your music? I mean, I'm all for women showing their body and feeling sexy if you're doing that strictly out of you being confident in who you are. But if you're looking for validation, nah, you ain't gonna get that over here.
So, do you think, is it tough working in the music industry will have to deal with males and
it is
just doing business with you? They want to just
it
make
is
it personal.
It's definitely, my thing is, you're gonna pay me for my verse first. But like at the end of the day, you want me to record with you, you want a song with me, prove it. And if you're ready for me to record, it's not about even being cocky either. It's about being respected. Your respect is the only thing you have in life. I don't care what anybody says. It doesn't matter about money, cars, jewelry, none of that. Your respect is what you're gonna come with and leave with, you know? So I feel like you're gonna respect me, you're gonna pay me for my time and my effort, we're gonna kill this song, but I don't affiliate business with pleasure. I just don't. I feel like it crosses too many borders, and when other people approach you, you don't want them thinking, oh yeah, you know, she was talking to this dude and they was working together. Like, that's just unprofessional, you know? And my music is my music, and I put that on a pedestal, you know? I have so much devotion to that. I don't want anything to blur that, you know, or smudge it up. I have an image to uphold, and that is what it is. And, you know, a lot of men don't get that. They don't understand why she leaving the studio, why she don't want to drink and do this with us after. Nah, I'm good. The song is fire. Send it to me when it's done.
Yeah, business is business. You got to keep that mindset. Business is business.
Business is business.
So let's talk about a little bit of your early childhood life. What were some of your interests?
Okay, so when I was about 5 years old, you know, I would sing with my sister all the time. My mom actually would she was shocked when she heard that us. Okay, so when I was 5, me and my sister would sing around the house a lot. My mom was actually shocked that we could both sing. Like, she couldn't believe it. So she put us in everything. You know, I did Louisiana State Choir. I did District Honor Choir, which is a part of the district in Louisiana that I was in. I did show choir, which, I mean, those 3 choirs combined, I did over 200 shows before I was even 16. And then I sang the national anthem for one of the Hornets games once. That was dope. I was actually picked top 10 by Steve Harvey, best singers out of Louisiana. That was nice. You know, I was chosen for the 4, but I did not get into the second round. But it's cool. They gave me some good feedback though. They did, and one of the producers actually reached out to me about another show, so that was dope. It's all about your impression as well. I want to say that. So leave an impression, new artist.
Cool.
Oh, also, sorry, Lafayette hosted a Lafayette Idol, and they had like thousands of people, you know, come out and sing, and I was actually top 3 in that, so that was dope. It was really nice.
Yes. So let's talk about the Steve Harvey Showcase. How was that?
All right, so Steve Harvey does a competition every year, and it's called Sing Your Way to 10,000. It's just a contest you can enter, so everybody all over that has the Steve Harvey Morning Show broadcasted to their area, they auditioned, and he put out a top 10 list of the people that were chosen, and my name was on there, and I was like number 4, I think, so I was pretty lit. It was dope. And I got to talk to, like, I don't remember his name, I'm sorry, but he's on there every morning, my bad. But he was like, your sound is very bluesy, very R&B, and he was like, it's kind of rare, because that was a time when people weren't doing R&B like that. And the song that I sang was Tyrese, so he was like, what? Like, people are so shocked when you have somebody my age, you know, at the time, especially singing songs, which is like 2 years ago, singing songs that their mama's grandma would sing, you know. But I love those songs. Those songs are the jewels, you know.
Yeah. Well,
shout out Steve Harvey.
Bet. So we finna go into her performance. She performed her song called Trust.
Yes.
I got it right this
and
time.
And Ballerina. So Trust and Ballerina.
Trust and Ballerina. Those 2 performances coming right now. Boom.
She never gives to anyone. I put my trust in you. I pushed as far as I could go. And for all of this, there is one thing you should know. I put my trust in you. Pushed as far as I could go. Yeah, I'm holding a bunch of grudges. I ain't even gotta hold it in. No more talking, I just wanna get it in. I just wanna stack it up, I'm just trying to win. With a bunch of first places, and we all godly like no sin. Write them off like this is the end. You've been talking way too reckless. I ain't even start applying pressure yet. I ain't even used too much effort yet. Really hungry and I look like I'm heavy set. Never let them breathe, we just stay at their neck.
Back from the performance, you know, she ripped that.
That was lit.
She ripped that. So what do you prefer to do more, sing or rap?
Oh my gosh. People always ask me this question. And to be honest, both. Like, I don't feel like, okay, obviously singing was from birth, right? Like, that was what I was just naturally given. God gave me a vocal cord. He gave me gifts to sing. But rapping, it's just so fun to play with, and I feel like you can express yourself so differently with rapping. So it's so, I don't know. Singing is my birthright, but rapping is something that has grown on me.
Cool. I feel that. What would you tell a young lady right now that's watching this interview that will want to be in this chair where you at right now?
Do not give up. Keep grinding it out. I know people say don't give up, and then you in your room and you writing 20 songs and you meeting all these people and they're still not understanding, they're still sleeping on you. Don't sleep on you. You don't sleep on you. Keep grinding, keep going, because at the end of the day, that work that you put in is going to come back to you tenfold regardless. So keep going.
Cool. So tell us about a time when you kept going and you didn't give up on your dream.
Damn, every day.
But a specific time, though.
All right. So I've definitely been in some struggle situations where I was challenged and I was, forced to change my whole life, pretty much. Forced to change, what I was, oh God, this is like so intense for me right now. But I was forced to pretty much be as independent as you could possibly think. You know what I mean? Performing my own, I can't even talk about this. Okay, let's start over.
I'm saying, feel comfortable. I want you to get it out.
Okay. Because this is like, ooh.
Yeah.
So a time that I pretty much had to figure out how to make it on my own and not give up was probably a time when I felt abandoned in a situation, when I was devoted to someone else and they pretty much was gone, disappeared on me, straight up ghosted, right? So at that time when you're working and you have a nice ass car and you have a nice place and you have a dog, you got shit to do, right? Yeah. And your music kind of goes back burner. But thank God I was blessed with people who supported my dream, especially my family. Without my family, I don't think I would keep going. And at the end of the day, without them, they are my back. Like, without them, I would be nothing. They are my backbone. They truly, when they see me down, they're like, write a song, go to the studio, get it out, do a video. Like, even, with my sister being a makeup artist, she's licensed. She does all my looks, my hair, my styling. She supports me. She travels with me. I don't really have a videographer who, like, I trust with my vision on my songs. So we started producing this thing called K-Day, which is every Saturday we put out music videos of me singing my songs and my lyrics and getting it across. And she is pretty much behind the production of all of that. And my brother, as far as him helping me with certain things here and there, he's always supportive. He's like, if you need me to do this, I'll come, whatever the little things are. My mom, like, if I told my mom I want to jump out of an airplane for a living, she'd be like, okay, I'll be there at the top. Like, she don't care, you know what I mean? And my dad, like, of course, like, his dream was always to do sports. So he's been playing sports his whole entire life. So for him, any time that I can make him proud, he, that advice that he gives me is always like a coach. You know what I mean? He treats me really like I'm an athlete when it comes down to it. He's like, if you're stressing about this song, go get it out. Get to the studio. What are you doing? Like, if you need to write it out. When I'm calling him because I have writer's block, he's like, all right, go, work out or go listen to some music, and then it'll just come naturally. Like, he gives the best advice. So thank you to my family. Like, y'all are my backbone.
Shout out to the fam. So how often are you in the studio creating it?
I try to produce a new song and put it out every week. So at least every month there's something new out, regardless. I never go over a month, but I try to go to the studio every week. I try to get in there, grind it out, record, constantly writing, so it has to come out. It's different as an artist. I feel like when you write a hit, it sticks with you and sticks with you and sticks with you until you just let it out. Like, it'll just eat at you because it's like, you need to record me.
I understand that. So when you was talking about when you was at a dark place,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Your friends helped you, your family helped you pull you out that slump.
Yes.
But where were you mentally? How did you mentally make that switch in?
So I feel like mentally, I had to evolve as a person. I feel like it was definitely a test. I'm very spiritual as a person, so I think it was definitely a test for me to become more discerning about the people I had around me. And it was showing me, yeah, you can have a bunch of people around you, but that don't really mean they doing shit for you. So maybe you should lower that number down, focus on what you want, and focus on the people that want the same things for you, and then you can actually have the success that you're looking for. It was a hard lesson, but I learned that lesson quick. You know what I'm saying? So from then to now, I'll never look back on that. But mentally, I had to prepare myself every day to just get through it until I had such an immense amount of strength, because I truly manifested it just by praying and wishing and hoping, and it was brought to me. And my strength is something that I question my own self sometimes. I'm like, dang, how did you get through this? But I did it, I did it, and I'm proud of myself for it.
Yeah, and we proud of you too.
Thanks, y'all.
So, for an up-and-coming artist right now that's watching this interview, how important is it to have a real strong team?
Okay, so to have a strong team is probably the second most important thing next to you writing your own music, but that's fine. All right, so for a strong team, I feel like it's so crucial, because sometimes you're not going to have the strength, you're not going to have the energy, you're not going to have the push, and those people are truly there for you. There's so many things that goes into an interview. There's so many things that goes into a photo shoot. There's a look, there's a style, there's, you have to really try on different makeup. You have to try on different outfits. You have to plan, you have to book flights, you have to, book rental cars. So you cannot do everything. Yes, people swear up and down that they can do everything, but your team is truly there to back you up and support you and push you through those little cracks and the crevices that you sometimes miss, so that you can get it done and it's all smooth and it's butter.
Yeah, that's cool. What do you have coming out?
Okay, so I've been thinking about dropping another EP. I recently dropped an EP called Gifted, so I'm thinking about trying to get that into the works. And of course, I'm constantly going to be dropping music. I'm also working on a divination page. So if you are into divination, let me know. Follow me at all social media at Vibe with Katie. So that's something that I'm kind of working on. I'm very multi, so I like to do everything.
You said you're working on what?
Divination. I actually practice divination.
What is that? Enlighten me.
Pretty much, I have a strong family background of having a lot of intuitives in my life. So I actually, for a long time, have been reading on energies for people. I practice tarot card readings and certain things like that as well. And that's what I do as far as divination. There are a lot of different practices for divination.
Wow, that's so interesting because, so basically you just read cards and just try to tell people future, stuff like that?
I do it.
Really?
Yeah.
So, is it a way you could, like, read your future out when it comes to your music career?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Tarot cards, I mean, the thing is, some people feel like it's a little bit, like you shouldn't read your own cards because it's like a hex or something like that, but I'm not into that type of energy. But yeah, I definitely, I'm aware of my surroundings.
So you got a third eye that's already open, right?
Very open and activated.
That's smooth. That's really smooth. That's interesting. I like that right there. You know what I mean? So, let's elaborate more on that. Okay. So how often do people come to you for card readings?
Okay, so I actually have a YouTube page, and then, of course, I have a lot of family and friends, so probably every day. Yeah, really? Literally every day.
So when you probably be in a relationship, deal with someone, and they probably upset you, do you read their card, or do you kind of deal with that
I feel like there's
okay,
so with that type of energy, you want to always remember to have boundaries with people, right? And I feel like if you're having an argument, sometimes there's a phase or there's a moment that someone's going through. You need to allow them that time to work through that energy. So no, not necessarily do I run to the card just to see what's going on with them. I give you that time and that space. But if I'm reading on me and that energy comes out, I'm definitely going to be aware of it. I try to, like I said, I always want to be very discerning. I've been working on practicing that more and more. So yes, I do know what's going on in relationships, but no, I'm not going to try to read your cards and just try to see what's going on with you every moment of every day, because boundaries are really healthy. Some people don't understand that. You can become very toxic as a person if you constantly are worried about what's going on with somebody else. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't know that. They're so indulging in other people's energy, and then they become sucked into it. You have to purify yourself. You have to cleanse yourself. You have to become centered, and you have to become one. But that's just my advice.
I read that. I like that. So do you think...
You need to read it? What's going on with your book?
I'm fine. I don't need to read it. So what's the difference between those cards people read and the Bible people study, or the Quran people study?
Ooh, okay. So I'm also very, heavy into the Bible. I think they go hand in hand. Some people don't understand that. Me and my sister actually had a conversation about this the other night, and she said something that I really liked. She said, God created the universe, and then the universe is what we as people have manifested. So I feel like God really knows about divination. It's just up to you if you would like to indulge in that. But we have been told so many stories about who we should be, and it's been repeated and repeated and repeated. So now some people have it concreted in their mind that this is who you need to be. This is the religion you need to follow because your grandmother and her grandmother and her grandmother did, and they were a part of that religion. You don't have to be that way. You have a choice. You have an option. There's nothing wrong with religion and organized religion, but for me, I'm more of a free-spirited person. So I noticed that when you do release that hold that people tell you have to follow, you become happier. You truly become happier, and then you're more lighter as an energy. People can feel your energy when you walk in the room. Some people don't understand that. But when I notice that when I get signs and symbols from the universe, I'll read a verse in the Bible that goes hand in hand. That's not a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences at all. I feel like God, is aware of everything, and Jesus is very aware. So, and I was born Catholic. I was baptized Catholic and everything. I still really do believe in the Catholic Church, but I don't agree in everything that is being said, and that's something that I had to realize for myself. But I know a lot of people who are more biased. They're like, everything that comes out of the Catholic Church is right, and if you don't understand that, then something's wrong with you. And I feel like that's so wrong to try to
get that across.
Yeah, I feel like you just shouldn't do that to people.
Yeah, you shouldn't. You really shouldn't.
People should have a choice.
Yeah, I feel that. Well, that's really interesting that
you got to break the cycle.
Yeah, I feel that. when did you discover your discernment for being able to read cards?
Oh, okay. So I've always had that gut feeling, right? Like that tingling. I've always been kind of accurate about my thoughts and what was going on with people. But I actually didn't get into reading cards until a year ago. Like maybe a year ago. And I've always had a very strong intuition. Yes, always had that. But to actually put it out into the universe and practice your intuition is a completely different ball game. You know, I feel like when you first start out, it's all about trusting the universe and trusting yourself, right? So that was my hardest thing, I think. But when I finally realized that I was succeeding and I was helping people and that people were able to come to me, I mean, I feel like that's a purpose, you know? You're serving your purpose here on this earth. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody has a path. It just is something on my path, you know?
That's cool. I like that. So,
But like I was telling you, like, I don't practice any type of black magic. I'm not really into that, you know, at all. I don't practice candle work, but, you know, do what you do.
yeah. Do what you do, man. We don't really want none of them type of ways over here.
Nah.
But, so where do you see yourself at now from a year now?
So next year, I'm going to be at the Grammys.
Yeah.
Because I'm going platinum 2 times.
Yeah.
You know. So that's just really what I feel. Like, I feel like I'm only going to be climbing and I'm only going to be succeeding from here. There's only up from here. There is no, I've been to the lowest of the lowest of the lowest and I refuse to go back. Y'all will never see me down there again. So it's only up.
I feel it. So you heard what she said, man. It's only up, man. We all going up. We going up all 2019,
Yes.
2020, in 2021, in 2022,
Infinite.
in 2023, all that. So shit, man. It was nice having you, man.
It was so nice having you. I had you too.
Cool,
it was so nice. Like, thank you for having me.
Yeah, all love, man. Tell them how they can find all your music.
Okay, so I am on SoundCloud, yes, at Katie Angelle, but I'm also on all streaming services as well. Tidal, Spotify, iTunes, Stream Me Up, and my social media is at Vibe with Katie. All right.
Boom. And y'all know how to find me. It's your boy RichinFaithTV. We
Bye.
out.